Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to learn about one of the most important inventions in human history in just 60 seconds. That's right, in 1940, a secret team of British mathematicians and engineers worked together to invent the first computer to crack an unbreakable code. Can you imagine? It sounds like something out of a movie. But it's true, and it all happened because of one brilliant man named Alan Turing. Now, you might be wondering what kind of code we are talking about. It was called the Enigma code, and it was used by the Germans during World War II to encrypt their secret messages. This encryption was nearly impossible to break, and even the British couldn't figure it out until Turing came along. He was a mathematician and computer scientist who believed that there had to be a way to crack the code. You see, the German Enigma machines were so advanced that they could produce billions of different combinations every second. This meant that if you wanted to send a secret message, you could set the machine to a particular combination and then type out your message. Once the message was encrypted, the machine would scramble it so that no one else could read it. And because there were billions of different possible combinations, it seemed nearly impossible to guess the right one. That's why the Germans thought their messages were safe from spies. But Turing didn't believe that. When he heard about the Enigma code, he knew that he had to do something. So with the help of a team of mathematicians and engineers, he set out to build a machine that could crack the code. They worked day and night, and after months of hard work, they finally finished their invention. It was called the bomb machine, and it was an early computer that was capable of testing thousands of possibilities at lightning speed. As soon as the first bomb was complete, the British began feeding it with German messages. The machine started whirring and clicking as it tested each possible combination. And after hours of work, it finally hit pay dirt. It had cracked the code. The British were ecstatic. They had finally figured out how to decode the German secret messages. And it was all thanks to Turing and his team. News of the breakthrough spread quickly, and soon Turing and his team were working around the clock. They needed to keep up with the Germans who were constantly sending new messages. The pressure was intense, but Turing and his team didn't back down. They continued to work day and night, and they eventually decoded thousands of German messages. But the work wasn't easy. Even though the bombs could test thousands of combinations per second, they still needed to be fed with the right starting point. Otherwise, they would be testing the wrong combinations. This required a lot of human intelligence and intuition. Turing and his team spent hours poring over German documents and trying to figure out the best starting point for each message. Sometimes they would be successful and other times they would fail. But they never gave up. In the end, their hard work paid off. The Enigma code was broken and the Germans couldn't communicate secretly anymore. This gave the British a huge advantage in the war. They could now track the Germans' movements and plans, and they were able to use this information to win key battles and ultimately end the war sooner. It is estimated that Turing and his team saved millions of lives by cracking the Enigma code. Without their work, the war may have dragged on for years longer, and countless more people would have died. But thanks to their efforts, the war ended sooner and the world was a safer place. It's important to remember that Turing and his team didn't just invent the first computer. They also made a huge contribution to the field of cryptography. Before the Enigma code was broken, it was considered impossible to crack. But Turing and his team proved that it could be done. This opened up a whole new world of possibilities for the field of cryptography, and it led to the development of new and better ways to protect sensitive information. It's also worth noting that Turing and his team worked in relative obscurity during the war. Their work was top secret and they weren't allowed to talk about it to anyone, not even their families. It wasn't until after the war that they received recognition for their contributions. But even then, Turing was prosecuted for homosexuality, and his legacy was largely forgotten until the 1980s. Despite all the hardships he faced, Turing's contributions to science and technology are undeniable. He was a brilliant mathematician and computer scientist who helped to win a world war and paved the way for the digital age after the war. Turing and his team's work continued to have an impact. On the world of computers, the bomb machine that he invented became the basis for many of the early computers that were developed in the 1950s and 60s. These computers weren't as powerful as the ones we use today, but they were the first steps towards the digital revolution that would change the world forever. For example, one of the first computers to be built using the principles of the bomb was the Colossus Mark I. This computer was developed in 1943 and was used by the British to decrypt German communications. During World War II, it was one of the first programmable, electronic, digital computers, and it played a key role in the Allied victory in Europe. Another example is the Manchester Mark I, which was built in the UK in 1951. This was the first general-purpose computer to be built in Europe, and it was heavily influenced by the design of the bomb. The Mark I was used for a variety of applications, including scientific calculations, data processing, and even playing chess. And of course, we can't forget the impact that Turing's work had on the development of artificial intelligence. His ideas about how machines could be programmed to think like humans laid the foundation for the field of AI and inspired generations of researchers to explore the possibilities of machine learning and natural language processing. So the next time you use a computer, take a moment to think about Alan Turing and his team of code breakers. Their work was truly groundbreaking, and it paved the way for many of the technologies that we take for granted today. We hope you enjoyed learning about one of the most important inventions in human history. If you did, please hit the subscribe button so you never miss out on our latest videos. We have a ton of fun and educational content coming up that you won't want to miss. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.